I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Titan audience. Today, we are bringing to you the NACL OQ GSL Round 2. That's a mouthful. And we are bringing back long-time caster. It is Sater. How you doing, Sater?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. It's good to be back on Titan again. I've been told it's been a month since I've been here, which is I think the longest I've been away in 2 years. So that's something. But no, very, very happy to be back and with such a great game coming up. You've given me the cheat sheets, you've given me the information, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Obviously, I've seen both teams before, but there might be some changes coming in, right?
Yeah, for this team here, it looks like everyone has pretty much stayed, but on the other teams, there have been some changes. You will get to see those, especially for your favorite boys, Gentle Hearts Gaming. But that is going to be a different game. That's going to be next week, next week, because they've already went through. Gromcord did forfeit their game. But facing what we have here, this is the upper bracket Apex Mission Impossible versus Dragoon's Goons. And right now it is a battle against a Titan, the winner of the last OQ, the most points in the league so far. It is Dragoon's Goons, and it is up to AMI to get an upset victory here or to drop down themselves to the loser bracket.
Yeah, some would say it is mission impossible for them. But no, I honestly think there is always that chance. And AMI was a team that when we done our previous split predictions, I always actually ranked them quite high. I thought they had a lot of potential going into this, but going up against Dragoon's Goons, it's a mountain to climb, but that's what mountains are there for, right? You got to climb them.
Yeah, I mean, the theme of that show, Mission Impossible, is they complete the impossible mission. It's given to a special team, and we might have that special team here today. So AMI last week only played one game, Stater, because the first game, don't know what happened to Art. They weren't able to make it, whatever, doesn't matter what happened. But they only needed to win one more game to take the series, and they did. And so right now we only have one set of champions for them. So not the most information for possible in this OQ, but I mean, they're still against the Goons.
They're still against the Goons, but the thing you got to look out for when you are looking at them is what they're going to play into them. I think a little bit as well as Dragoon's Goons have a very mixed bag here. With Renekton and Nasus, they've went for the Shurima kind of brothers there, which is an interesting kind of style. And then Senna, Ezreal, two completely opposite kind of champions when you think about what they're designed to do in lane. I know they're both kind of poke, but they just feel so different in their style. And then Ornn and Rel, you can see the Ornn Senna combo coming through. We're going to see more of that today with this Fearless. Maybe if it goes all the way to game 3, we might see that come around. But Lucian Zeri mid, this new AD mid lane meta has been absolutely horrendous and beautiful simultaneously. I hate it with every fiber of my being because I'm the person that's an ADC that screams ADC is the worst role, and then mid laners start playing it, and now everyone thinks it's the best role. It's not. It's terrible.
I mean, it's the role. It's not necessarily the champions because the same champions go to mid lane, and it's a different look. To be honest, the power curve is different. What they can do in the game is a lot different. In solo trades, they often trade up in lane compared to the mages, so really is not the same when you put it in that mid lane role here.
Stop
As
taking my
we are
champion.
getting this draft underway.
Simple. Just stop taking my champions from me. Just let me play ADC. But Kindred, my favorite jungler, being taken away, as it is the only ADC in the jungle bar. Graves, who was a really good ADC back in the day, and Rumble being taken from the other side. So we're going to get rid of some of that Leona combo that we've seen as of late, where you take Leona, Rumble, and Ivern. It's one of the most disgusting combos I've seen as of late. But Zyra, it's kind of fallen off a little bit, in my opinion. I'm not sure where you're standing on the Zyra brand jungle matchups right now, but we're going to see Huawei taken as well. I want to talk about that Zyra brand, though. What do you think about it these days?
I think Zyra still has the advantage just because of the range, and she's way less committal than Brand. Brand does way more damage though, so it's kind of like Brand's more killable, but at the same time, if you do try to kill him, your team's gonna take more damage. On the other hand, Zyra's, if you get on top of her really quick with a burst comp or poke, she is definitely easy to kill. But if you're playing like an engage, it's hard to get on top of the Zyra. So it really matters what the rest of your comp is, in my opinion. And we see the Ezreal come out first pick. A lot of blind picks for this champion because of the flexibility. Send it mid, send it bottom. It's good in either role.
Yeah, even with the nerf that came through for Ezreal, that he did get some reduced damage, yeah, it's still one of the premier safety ADCs that you can always pick up. It's like the trifecta that used to be in the jungle of Lee Sin, Elise, and Rek'Sai. ADC Ezreal, always safe, always good, but they've given up a very nice combo here with Maokai and Corki for setup, for poke, for damage. Everything is lined up for them. What will be the answer here?
Yeah, they could try to go something similar. And here's a new pick. Honestly, this hasn't really started to come around until the GSL group, I'll be honest, Sater. So something's going on with the scrims. I've seen multiple teams try it now. The Amumu has been coming out as a response into things like Maokai and Sejuani.
It's a European comp. I've seen a lot of it over here in Europe in top tiers. A big shout out to Dakin there, one of the Irish junglers that is actually playing that right now. He is famous for absolutely sending engages with absolutely no care for where his team might be. But I have seen 5-man Curse of the Mummies attached. So very excited to see that. But we have double ADCs coming out from both sides. Ashe, Ezreal, Corki, Jhin. Braum needs to be taken away from that Ashe. That combo is way too strong. But the Amumu into the Maokai. I think Amumu might have the edge here if they can get that Haunting Guise on and working before they go for those Grubs. Grubs will be very, very important here for the amount of AD damage both teams are bringing. But Cassante, always a good ban. And also, I do need to touch on the Aurora red side ban. I hate that right now. Can we just tell all leagues to just remove Aurora for another week or so? Please, it's so unfair if you're on red side.
I really also dislike Aurora and what she can do. Too much damage. It's like a better Jarvan in almost any way. Here we go. Rel gonna be the pairing, so that's obviously why they banned the Braum. Maybe a Alistar comes in response. They don't have the most peel in the world, but I mean, Amumu can do that. But we'll see what they go with. Oh, okay. They're just gonna go ahead, blind pick the Ornn here. We'll see what they paired up in that bot side, though.
Yeah, blind picking Ornn's an interesting one because does that mean the Ezreal's going to go mid? They're going to drop the Ashe down and drop in a Seraphine.
Okay.
So it could be Ashe, Seraphine, Ornn top, Ezreal mid. Or we could see an Ashe support and Seraphine go mid. So there's still a little bit of leeway there. More than likely it will be Seraphine in that mid lane. It's something that I'm currently playing with a team and we've been scrimming a little bit. And because I don't play mid and I have to play in the captain's draft, I got filled there. I'm playing mid lane, my worst role, and they're just like, just play Seraphine every single game. So I have been on that duty, and it is incredibly strong if you have a team built around you. And then also, it just does a lot of random damage just out of nowhere. So I really, really like that. But let's touch on this Mundo really quickly. It's actually going to be Ezreal mid. I'm very surprised by that. I would have rather seen it in the Ashe support. I know it's not incredible, but bot lane, it's good. I like it.
I think I like it better here in the bot lane because if you pair Ashe with Seraphine, you actually get stuns on Ashe slows with the Seraphine Q. So she kind of is a lot stronger in lane than you would expect. And also, Seraphine's going to be pretty scary into the Maokai mid lane because I think Ezreal's just going to be safer there. We'll see how this ends up, though. We have the Seraphine comp, so you kind of want to play it front to back for sure on the side of AMI. I would prefer more people to like bounce off the Seraphine ult, but I guess Umumu is just going to have to do, and it's looking pretty straightforward from AMI. This is a wombo combo front to back, no other way to do it.
Just bounce it off enemies, just be better. That's all you gotta do. Just be better.
Bounce it off enemies. I mean, but bouncing it off allies is where you get the extension off your allies into the back line. That's where Seraphine really pops off here.
Don't worry about it. I have full faith that Pockets will be able to just completely obliterate them. It's all good. But jumping into this one, we're going to see a little bit of aggression actually coming out here from Dragoon. A little bit of a Mundo ball to be played in that top side. Let's see what they can do with this one.
I mean, this OQ around Mundo has come up in terms of priority. A lot more people are playing this champion jungle, and now we're seeing it top side. Obviously, going to be able to play pretty well into the Ornn, as Dragoon is aggressively just standing there, blocking off this river.
Yeah, aggressive is one way to do it. Yeah, Dragoon's going to have a lot of fun there. We're going to play Mundo Ball, and actually Dragoon's going to come out slightly better in the end. Decoy, and not playing Decoy on that one is one that eats one of the shots straight to the face.
Yeah, also Mundo passive going to come in there, help with the healing. I do like Decoy on Ornn, very good Ornn player. So into this long-range poke comp of the Jhin as well as the Corki, I'm going to hope for some really good engages coming out from Decoy.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do here in the spot side as well, as we're going to wait to see what Seraphine's going to do. They're actually going to miss that first shot, so no shield taken. Not a lot of damage handed over, and that's a lot of time wasted for the Seraphines. Building back up those charges will take a little while, and there will be a small bit of aggression available to the side of Goon, but right now, you don't want to rely on that because Ashe can still put down that damage.
You can sense it. They're a bit scared in this bot side here, and they don't get prio. Satyr, this is kind of a huge backfiring of this bot lane. Double range into the Rel. Not going their way already.
Yeah, it's all about that first ability from Seraphine. It's the one you have charged up, the one you need to hit, and missing it like that just sets you back so much. Usually you aim for the ADC and try cull the wave a little bit as you're sending it, but it doesn't really work out quite as much there for AMI, so we will see a lot of pressure in that bot side coming down from that, as you said, double ranged into melee of the Rel. Rel having an advantage in this position, not good, but we do see an all-in kind of engage here as both AZs in the mid want to just fight this one out, and it's just landing poke after poke.
Yeah, that is the power of the Ezreal passive. Stack that up, get the bonus attack speed, and you win in the mid lane. That's why it's becoming such a premier pick. As we have Kisno. Looks like they want to make an aggressive play in the mid lane here. Satyr's ult might be in trouble.
Yeah, Kisno could be in a really good position here. Ezreal needs to respect this one. Does he have the E available? He's towards the top side. Should be able to flash that wall. Will escape with his life. But Zalt blaming fire a little bit there.
Yeah, interesting conversation about whether Kisno should have flashed, as we have Dragoon taking a trade, Decoy getting the full combo off, but I don't know if that's enough. They're going to trade their runes there. Grasp going to help them up, as looks like Low Jazz trying to get first blood for AMI. Decoy charging in, gets it with the Bellows Breath. And unexpectedly, first blood not only going to Decoy, but it's in the top lane.
Yeah, that is a solo bolo in the top lane. We will say Amumu was there for moral support, but that will be Decoy taking that, and a good start for them. It's something you can work on, because Ornn does become such a menace in the late game, and if you can get advantages, get that extra XP up and join those fights, the Ornn Hornet will make the difference. And all those items as well. We can never forget about those items, can we?
Never. Never, never, never. Ornaments as well, and having a good start on the top side is a good look, because this just means they don't have to worry about Decoy up there. Decoy can just be up there chilling into this Mundo matchup. Pockets in trouble. Now Kisno getting the knockback as well as the grass back. Daption doesn't land the final stun as well as the snare from Array. But that is a huge chunk. And again, pressure being lost in the bot side, Satyr.
Yeah, big CS numbers coming through there for Array as well, and they're able to pull this wave back into them, putting Baz in a much worse position here. Pockets is going to stick around and still has the jungler with them as well, so they might be looking to try and alleviate some of the pressure, but is spotted on a ward, as we just saw there in that middle brush. So let's Take a step back now and think, Lojas, how much time can you spend trying to get your bot lane back into this while your jungle is just being pilfered and raided? As right now, Sudsy and Zalt are having a good little fight here, as they like to do, and no flash available on Kizno, which means they might not be able to go for this dive. So we'll step back off of this one. How do you feel about the first strike coming through on this Maokai?
Yeah, so this is definitely reminiscent of the old Maokai, as Decoy gets another solo bolo in the top side. This time, no moral support, full confidence on their
Let's
own
see
here.
what happened here. Oh, yeah, it's just an easy knock-up. It lost the passive already, and it is just lights out for that one. No flashes as well. Oh, no.
Dragoon, sometimes Dragoon doesn't have a good start in these games, I'll be honest. But probably going to make it up somewhere in the later of the game. Low Jazz and Kizno going to run right into each other. Now, there is Conqueror on Low Jazz, so Kizno's going to have to leave. Does get the first strike and exits. So talking about this, I used to play this Maokai all the time, back when the damage was a lot better. And it's going into that poke style, you can see with the red jungle item as well. And so it's all about those saplings and denying your opponents the ability to enter the river. And so as long as they're in position and as long as they're in a good spot, should be very strong, Satyr, preventing the engage from happening in the first place, which is what they have to look out for.
Yeah, and immediately moving that support up as well to get that first grub is something I slightly touched on in the pre-game, is that I feel like they really need this one for the likes of Ornn to like unlock more of that potential, but this could be a bad one as it's level 5 on the Amumu. Flash has to be burned. Dragoon wants to chase it a little bit more. They will trade one back in the end, but it's starting off really, really good here for AMI in this matchup, and it's something that, with Dragoon's Goons being favorites, it's a good look right now for a game 3.
Yeah. They are making a bit of advancement in this game here. They're up in gold, and they're up in objectives technically here. Question is this dragon. But so far, I have to say, I agree. This is a great start. On these comps, other than bot lane, which is kind of not where you want it to be, the top side, though, doing great.
Top side doing very well. 2 kills, good CS lead, good control on that top side. Obviously, Ornn obviously build items in the lane also helps. As Decoy want to opt into this fight. No, actually steps out of this one, still respecting that Mundo damage in those all-ins, especially with those ults now available. Dragoon has to be, or Decoy has to be a little bit more careful in that, but yeah, 900 gold. That is a lot of gold, and Ornn can spend it in lane. It's something that people never really forget about the champion. I'm going to be honest, it's one of those big things, and that's an even bigger thing. It's going to be another combo.
Oh!
He will just eliminate him, Crims.
Yeah, definitely applying the Ornn combo right there. And that was a question I was about to ask Satyr. Like, does Decoy have enough damage to take out this Mundo one fell swoop? And the answer is yes. Now, Decoy unfortunately won't be able to carry the game, but look at this, Sunfire coming out. So helping the team with early rotations is what I want to see Decoy doing now, because dominating in this top side, definitely need to start transferring it over to the rest of the team and hopefully get some gold on their carries of Zalt and Baz.
That is a very wild swing coming through from Kizno there. Will he be able to get anything off this one as they open up with the Jin ult, but will be able to be blocked off by Pockets? No, the tower is there. Can they stop this dive coming through as Daption doesn't get it, and they will get a kill back from this one as the rest of the team starts to collapse now on the frayed members of Dragoon's Goons, and it will be 5-0. Will they be able to chase this one up? No, because you don't have an engage anymore. That's messy.
I have to say, well played by AMI. They saved Baz from taking the last shot, and they peel off Daption, and they do expend an unnecessary flash, but I mean, in terms of overall game state, is worth it. They do have to worry about Array. One final shot will take out Baz over here, as they are kind of positioning for Dragon, but I think that they'll definitely take that dive.
Oh, 100%. It was Daption going a little bit too hard. Array not getting that last shot in. So unlucky, but...
Okay, he's
flash comes through. He flashed for a grass proc. Oh, no.
That grass proc is going to have the butterfly effect. You will see.
I write that down in my notes here, that if he survives on less than 30 HP from any future engage, that man is a genius.
Exactly. That is a good point. We'll keep the HP bar on notice here. Dragon going over, so finally Goons get something on the map. As it looks like we're starting to face down second. Grubs, Decoy's going to have TP here. I mean, do you think Goons should go for this topside Grubs? I kind of feel like it's not a good idea. And they've already positioned for a bot side. Kisno forced the flash away from the bandage toss. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be a bot side play.
It just seems very forced from Dragoon's Goons now. It just feels like they're trying to get something going in that bot side. They see that as their win condition, and it's not coming to fruition for them. Kisno's always there, always ready. Nothing can come from it as they're just a little bit too strong. Salt is doing some decent damage in that mid lane. We're not going to forget that, but it just feels so overly forced for a lane that's now 25 CS down or there and thereabouts. It's looking very, very dangerous if Kisno continues to try and salvage something from that bot side and it doesn't work. It's not paying off. What would be your decision? I would start maybe going towards Sudsy in that mid and try to get the Corki online, because Corki might be able to deal with it, might be able to poke people down.
Yeah, I think that's part of the formula here for Goons. And I think they should give over these Grubs. It looks like that is the plan. I think playing away from Low Jazz, because every time Kisno's been making a play so far, Low Jazz has been doing a really good job of tracking Kisno and not necessarily being at the play, but being around, right, Satyr? Just in the general vicinity, there to make sure if there is a play on Baz and Pockets, they're going to be interrupted on that play. And so I have to give credit. It doesn't look like much from Low Jazz, but I think this is great jungle tracking and really preventing Goons from stomping this bot side.
Yeah, stopping the bot side indeed. Let's see, as this Kisno once again down here trying to get something going, will get spotted on that ward. We will immediately see the pings come out. So AMI know once again they are the targets here for Dragoon's Goons. And look at the respect being shown already. They're just going to throw all the slows out, all the small abilities, see if they can clear out that pink. But it's so, this could be in a full engage. 2 versus 3, and then we will see that return. The cats will come crawling, but no follow-up to come from it. And Dragoon's Goons, they've wasted another major ultimate.
So it's not like they're getting no advantage, right, Satyr? But it's not the biggest advantage in the world. We do see a 40 CS differential, but after all of these ganks, I mean, I would hope there would be a 40 CS difference, because there's been a lot of pressure coming from Kisno as well as Array adaptation in this lane. Is it going to be enough, though, for Array to carry this game? Array is a very good AD carry, has carried many games before. Is this enough of a lead? 700 gold? It's definitely something, but I'm not sure if it's the winning factor, Satyr.
I don't think it's the winning factor. Also, the new static Shiv. The new static Shiv Jhin just rubs me the wrong way. It's one of those builds that I think is, yes, very strong. It's just I have always preferred that lethality, but we're looking at a Moo and an Ornn. Let's be honest, he needs to get as much as he can out with those shocks. But Adaption now going towards that mid lane. Maybe this is the sign they're trying to change up the game plan. It's the first time I've seen Kisno topside in a very long time. I'm hoping to see something come from that, because Mundo can still be a threat in those later stages, as they can just get incredibly tanky. And Bork, it'll do something, and the Ezreal poke will do something, but Mundo, if they get to 6 items, still very, very difficult to kill.
Yeah, I do think Mundo is definitely a problem with the tankiness. I do think Ashe is one of the better answers into Mundo.
I'm grasping at straws here, Crims, because this game is 5-0, and you're the underdogs. Like, that's just showing up so well.
They've definitely showed up, especially Decoy here on the top side. This is basically 3 kills with relatively little assistance. So this is as good as a game plan you can get against Dragoon here. Adaption looking like they're in trouble. The dash is going to save. Shield and TP coming through. That is Sudsy coming in. And now the TP in response from Zalt. Is this going to be the play? Low Jazz going to use the ultimate, and they're just going to CC Sudsy to death there, Satyr. And it looks like the play is going to fizzle out. Again, AMI getting a slight advantage off the play.
Yes, Sudsy there, not using that soap at all to try slip away from that one, as he just gets stuck. And I don't know, just maybe a little bit overzealous there from the Corki to be walking forward in that kind of situation. But look, AMI, they keep doing it. They keep just turning around every single opportunity they can. And Zalt will get a little more damage on this mid tower. Might be able to break it with that TP being used already. But as we see in the bot side, there's going to be the engage coming through straight away. Pockets is in a little bit of trouble here. Can they clean this one up? RA will get a kill, and they are on the board. But Lojaz is here to protect the Ashe, will keep them very safe. And yeah, it did look like the mid lane tower did go down as well. Just keep an eye on that one for Zalt. Will be able to control that mid lane a little bit stronger now as well. But the Goons, they burnt a lot to just kill a support. Is it enough to fill you with hope?
I don't like the turret trade as well. That is definitely not a turret you want to be giving over for support. I guess they do get the dragon as well. So they have double stack dragons. The third dragon is going to be very important in this game. So they have a condition. Satyr, win condition has been activated for Goons. The next dragon, they can play for that. They are behind in gold. And if they are also going to continue on this path, they might be behind in overall map pressure. But for sure, wherever Array is versus Baz, they are going to have an advantage.
Yeah, wherever they are against Baz will be... Yeah, I'm looking at this Ashe arrow now that's up, and I'm just seeing Sudsy as the target. That's all I'm seeing right now. I'm just watching that mid lane. Ezreal's already used the ult. Will they follow it up with the Ashe arrow? It is very easily dodged by the Valkyrie that can come out from Corki, but it looks like it might just be a Rift Herald play coming out on the other side as Array. With that added wave clear from the static shift, going to have a great time in the spot side. We'll be able to pick up a tower here for the side of Goons, but that mid tower is just sticking in the back of my head here, Crims. It's such an important tower to lose, especially this early.
Yeah, and it came off the back of a not so successful TP towards that bot side. They eventually get that bot turret, so they are evening up in the turrets, and we're kind of getting to the point where the 2K is not so important here. And turret race versus a Rift Herald is probably not going to be the winning play. TP from Decoy on the bot side to counter that. Dragoon is going to be able to spell, the second one here. And is going to take a proc. Zalt has roamed up. Do they have enough damage? It looks like the minions are going to ruin that kill up in the top side.
Yes, we do see the recalls coming through now. They're going to try force that tier 2 as tier 1 will fall in the mid, as we did see Decoy TP down towards that bot side, help keep that one alive, but 4 strong in the top side here for AMI. Will they go for second charge? No, they do see the Jhin walking forward as those Voidlings go hopping towards the third one. It shouldn't get a last charge.
It did.
Oh no.
Double charge coming out, so they also have a turret advantage overall. AMI, that's just a better macro play. So now they're showing up in lane phase and also in macro with Decoy preventing the death of the bot lane turret. Didn't save mid lane turret, but still prevented any further damage. And so AMI are up in a turret trade on the map.
Yeah, their macro for statics looking great. For neutrals, not so much. They do have those grubs, of course, that will help them get those towers, that will help inflate those stats for them. But on the other side, those drakes, you give them a third drake, and Goons are looking at an infernal, which will definitely help with their semi-poke comp. But it will definitely help that Corki out in the long run. So all eyes on that for their win condition. But they keep chipping away at these towers. Slowly it'll be an inhibitor, and then you're starting to get choked out a little bit across the map.
Yeah, that would definitely be something AMI want to avoid here. 2 minutes up to that all-important timing of this third Drake. And so I think both teams right now have to be focused on that play. Getting prio, what lane they want to play through, has to happen now. I think it looks like Sudsy is sticking around in the mid lane. I see Array going up to the top side. Are they giving this next Dragon Satyr?
I'm not too sure. It looks a little bit strange in terms of positioning. I feel like they try to get that bounty maybe from the Ornn and try to give it over to Array. Is that maybe a play here? Like the 300 gold, is that worth playing for?
I guess they're trying to trade for the turret because the turret is up on this top side here.
Yeah. I don't know, that turret, that bounty might just be worth a little bit more to the Jhin, I think, to get that second item, especially when he rushes LDR second item. But we do see an arrow come through. Baz will get the stun. It will follow up another stun. Pockets will not fire the ult. Now they will.
Kisno's down.
Pick up onto the jungler. Kisno is down, but the option, will they be able to escape from the double T? Oh, the bandage toss from Amumu does not connect, and Daption manages to escape from that one, but that opens up the Drake. The jungler is down. They're able to control their lanes again. Everything looking up once again for AMI off one small play.
I think Dragoons Goons kind of pulled the trigger too early on that topside trade. I think that was the idea, Sater. They're going to trade Dragon for the top turret. And they kind of just went up a bit too early. They didn't have mid pressure either. So Baz, Puckus just walk up, catch Kisno in the jungle. And now, not only do they get denied the trade for the turret, which I think was the plan, they are going to lose the dragon entirely. I don't know if they're going to be able to walk in here because AMI are all over this bot side river.
They're all over it, yeah. And the more I look at this now, the more I see Mundo falling too far behind to be a tank for their team. That Heartsteel won't give them the stats they need. Sudsy will take that top tower, which
There it is,
will give
okay.
them a little bit more gold. But that Drake has yet to be started. Are AMI just going, we'll wait for them to try and fight here and look for a team fight? Oh, never mind, Zalt.
Bait would be interesting. Zalt, surrounded, doesn't see Daption. It looks like they're trying not to fight. I think this is a good idea. Don't pull the trigger here. They do get the turret in the top side anyway, because of the Sudsy pull roam up to that top side. And so it does end up being a dragon trade at the end of the day. So Goons do not get to complete the 3 dragon and really pressure AMI here. But they're going to make up some gold that they lost over the course of the game.
Make up some gold, get themselves back in. The Drake will come back. The gold lead isn't as substantial as I think we're making it out to be. We're making it out like AMI have a massive lead, and that's not entirely true. It's just that the lead that they build from this point on just gets further exemplified by Ornn items. Their innate scaling as champions, as Amumu has his damage now, will just go into those kind of tankier items and become a bit more of a menace, as we do see Daption trying to Hex Flash over the wall, trying to get onto Zalt, but Zalt always has that extra flash, will get rooted, will get set up, will they be able to catch Daption on the other side, and Daption in no man's land, as they will get eviscerated. As the rest of the team continues to chase this one up, oh my god, Decoy, you are insane for that one.
Picking up another kill off the back of that one. They're going to be throwing this turret on the bot side to Dragoon here, but if they get a Baron, that is not a bad trade. Bit of a kind of questionable position here. Dragoon could TP up, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it. Kisno is in the face of Zalt, and that is not where Kisno wanted to be. This is going to be a Baron secure here, and AMI have found themselves a pathway to victory after picking up the kills on that topside play. Just Goons going too deep again with Daption, and now they have Baron.
It's starting to look less like Mission Impossible and more like Top Gun Maverick. To be honest,
That's
it's
true.
just looking like straight action, all gas, like absolutely exceptional.
Well, wait,
work.
Decoy is definitely like a call sign name. That is 100% a call sign name.
You could say Jazz is as well. Jazz is a character in it.
True. I mean,
Zalt,
they got some call sign names here.
Zalt, Jazz, and Decoy could definitely work. Pockets, not quite as much.
Yeah, Paucus is a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but it's a good name though. Like you remember Pockets.
Yeah, it's definitely not forgettable. As
It's more memorable than
Crims.
Crims.
Oh well. Okay. All right then.
It's been a month.
You know, Sander,
haven't got
you're the
any
only
info
person to
in a
catch
month.
me off guard. No other co-caster has done that to me. So I was not prepared for you to strike me in the back. The coup de grace, as this bot
has
lane
to be
turret
done.
has been destroyed. I'll get you back, Sander.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. Right, as we do see the setup coming through now, is there's a nice little Ezreal over the top. We'll do a decent chunk there to Daption, which might kind of dissuade any further attempts to dive in on this one, but they can't just let these towers go, as we do see Sudsy is forced to recall after taking some damage there from Zalt, and it's looking like cookie cutter League of Legends right now, just moving around the map, take all those outers. We know we have gold, we know we have advantages, we have the money, we have the wallet to throw at you. You'll have to give these ones up, and then eventually they have to make a decision. Do we go top, mid, bot? Which tower are we going to go for? As we do see the ult come through from Kisno. We'll set them up for a fight, but everything is landing onto the Amumu. Will the Amumu be able to turn this one around? No. Will get deleted, and the kill will go over to Kisno as Dragoon is on the far side. Decoy, what will you be able to do from this position? There's no ult available, no Ornn Horn, and they're slowly poking back, but do they have the damage to get through these two big tanks? Corki will We'll go over to Kizno. Never mind, Corky will not have the damage to finish that one off. Both kills go over to the Maokai, and it might be a good call for Maokai to pick up some of these because the damage from Maokai is deceptively strong with Leandries.
Leandries, if you walk into
Dark
those,
Steel?
will be taking a lot of damage. I mean, AP is not the best stat on Maokai, so that is a bit questionable. I mean, if you get 10 and then you get movement speed, well, then now we're talking. But we are seeing a bit of a mistake. From AMI. Lojaz thought that they'd be the hero there and block the shots for Zalt. And it ended up being at the cost of Zalt's life there. Does drop for the first time. And unfortunate that they weren't really able to fight front to back the way that they would hoped. They lost one of their tanks early. And Decoy tried their best to be the solo frontline. However, Dragoon on the side kind of made it a bit difficult for them to fully commit to the front to back.
Yeah, as I just keep seeing those Warmogs keep ticking constantly from the two tanks.
League of Warmogs is for sure the new meta.
Yes, the new style. ADCs versus Warmogs. Clash of Titans, as they say. But yeah, I'm looking at this now in AMI. Yeah, that was a bit of a mix-up there, and the Lojaz didn't realize how not tanky he was in that situation with that LDR coming through and the Manazane and everything else. There was a lot happening there, and Amumu going down really stunted AMI's ability to continue that step forward. But they now are in a position to set up this Drake with absolutely no contest. It looks like it's going to be a power trade in the bot side from Dragoon's Goons, as they do send out an Ash Arrow to actually find out exactly where they are, keep Zalt safe. And Grims, the tempo is definitely slowed here for the moment, as we will see Zalt maybe get some pressure here from the Corki. Will he check it with a Q? No, he won't. But yeah, Corki's just going to back, and it feels like Dragoon's Goons don't have the right ideas of how to play from this position, while AMI are a little bit riskier in their decision making in this position because they didn't expect to be here. I think AMI expected to come from behind.
Yeah, they might have not been prepared for this scenario. And also, now that they've lost a team fight handily to Dragoon's Goons, they might be trying to reformulate their plans a little bit because that was not the fight they were looking for. Overall, though, I do think that they have done 90% a good job, no issues. Just that last 10% that they've made some errors. They still just need to fight front to back. Not much Goons can do in a front to back here, so keeping track of Dragoon, making sure that Kizno is ulting up the front, not flanking anyone, should be an easy win, honestly. I know I'm saying that against Dragoons, but if you look at the lanes, if you look at the state of the game, you look at everything that is the comps as well, just play front to back. I don't see how Goons can beat you in that scenario.
Yeah, let's take stock of all this now, as we do see Dragoon is now pushing on the bot side, forcing Decoy down. Baron coming up very, very soon, as the setup will come through for that 30 seconds on that timer, and that's when we'll see the explosion happen. That is, I think, every single caster's favorite moment. Is just like all of this leads up to that one big fight, and it's one big play from one or the other. And right now, all eyes, I guess, on Array on the side of Dragoon's Goons. Can they get the damage down, get through those tanks, help set up the rest of their team, and hopefully Kizno not take those kills? On the other side, can Lojaz not get one shot heading into that fight?
Yeah, I think I like the build that Lojaz has, because there's 3 melees on the other side. And if they're kind of, if they're all grouped up and you're consistently proccing your passives on both of these items, that should be a lot of effectiveness. Just has to be alive to do so. And that's where Palkus comes in, I think, Sater. This is the potential difference maker. Palkus is, by the way, super far ahead of Daption in levels, and so this healing coming out of the Seraphine with the Moonstone should keep both their tanks up as long as Palkus can get in range. And so I think everything looks good. Everything sounds like a success. It's just not happening. They seem to be afraid of making a play. They're just waiting for the objective timers, and I think that's also fine.
Until this happens, where Adaption will be the one stepping forward here. They will not get
Dragoon.
that Ornhorn onto the back line. The ult will miss as well from Pockets. But can they get Adaption down? Adaption has to step back from this fight, but Amumu is getting killed on the other side. Major misses there. 2 big ults missed from Pockets and from Decoy will send them back. And right now, what can they do in this position? They're missing their main component here. The Amumu is gone.
Yeah, they don't have a jungler here. Goons are sensing some blood in the water. And again, Dragoon finds an angle on the side, Satyr. This is not front to back. And every time they have failed to do so, AMI have lost, despite the advantages given to them. And look at Dragoon just harassing with these cleavers. Decoy stepping up, and now it looks like they're going to get a catch. That is Baz going down, and Dragoons are trying to just get this ace, sink the kills in. Pocket's forced to flash away. Zalt is going to over the wall. Decoy now left alone in the front line. Dragoon picking up a kill. Satyr, this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, they're just watching the game slip through their fingers right now. As what can be the response from here? It has to be an Amumu 1v4 to try and take this Baron. The Drake is coming up very soon as well, so we could see maybe a little bit of a swap up there and see Dragoons take their third and stop AMI on that one as well. But the Baron will go over, and just major missteps there, I think, and Dragoons solidifying their comp for what it was meant to be.
And now they've caught up in gold. And I'm thinking they're going to catch up in map pressure very soon. And Satyr, I keep saying Dragoon's name, and there's a reason. No one is marking this Mundo. It's got to be Decoy, I think. Decoy has to be in the face of this Mundo because Dragoon's just getting free backline access, has a pass, paid the extra money to meet the band, and is just tearing Pockets apart in these fights back to back, preventing this front to back and preventing the heals coming through on the tanks. They need to identify to stop Dragoon.
They do right now, but the Drake will go over. Will this be a classic kind of mid-push scenario where they just say, nope, they can have it, we'll go for that tower? And there is pings going down from both sides to say that might be the option. And they do have that mid-prio. They can get this push up, but will they be able to make a cash? Sudsy, you could be in trouble here. No, Salt will just use the Arcane Shift, throw the Q, send them back. This could be a good situation here if Dragoon can find a TP for a flank. Stepping off into the bush now. He's going to walk over. He's using the blast cones. I'm slowly keeping an eye on this top laner as this is the fight. This is the moment. Who's going to get stuck? And it will be that Jhin ult coming through. Decoy's tanking him for the moment. But here comes Dragoon. Here comes Adaption. And Baz is caught out. The Ashe will be eliminated from this before it even starts. 1 ADC down. All down to Zalt. We will see a big one coming through. Straight onto the Mundo, though, as we do see that Ornhorn falling through as well. But the stun is perfect. It does take out Adaption. Zalt is free firing for the moment. He does get another one through, but he doesn't have the damage to get through Dragoon. This is what I was talking about. Mundo at full health is not going down. Zalt will take more damage, but it's Decoy left in a 1 versus 4, and as tanky as you are, Orn, you cannot beat the Doctor.
It is very difficult to win these team fights if you don't have one of your backliners, and Baz going down early off the flank is not a success, as Sudsy with the help of a Rare picking up a kill. Wow, Satyr, AMI, it looks like it was Mission Impossible in the end.
Yeah, it was Mission Impossible 3. It was probably the worst one. It wasn't great. Look, for all the lead that they have, I'm still so happy with the potential of what they can do with it. It was incredible to see the lead that they had, the way they played around it. It was one misplay and it all cascaded into Dragoons just getting everything they needed. They now have that 3-item Mundo. He's very, very hard to kill in a situation where your damage isn't LDRs. It's not straight armor penetration. It's very slow, and if Baz goes down first, what can you do? And Baz has been caught out twice now in those situations, at the Baron, solo, and then in that bush. It's getting very tough for the Ashe to position correctly in these fights when there's so much happening.
I mean, it kind of not entirely Baz's fault there, right? The team made a conscious decision to go for the inhib, and you see Dragoon pushing up topside. I mean, you're going to get flanked. There's no doubt about it. So I think maybe they didn't have any... Maybe they thought that was going to happen anyway, decided to go for the inhib trade. I mean, they do get mid inhibitor. I mean, that's a better inhibitor than top as well. Well, Jazz. Almost bandage tossing in there. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like they have an answer for Dragoon at the moment that you're saying, Satyr.
Not at the moment, no. It all seems a little bit messy. Decoy is going to walk down here. Daption playing very aggressive once again. Low Jazz, is that really the target you want to go for? But here comes the Oranhorn. They want to go on this one. Dragoon's Goon. Dragoon is not in the area just yet. Low Jazz, you've got to find the angle, and it's just not there just yet. Stop focusing. Draption is now. Dragoon has joined the fight. Decoy now caught out. We do see the Curse of Sad Mummy is available, but when will it be used? They haven't got a step in yet, as the Jin ult is going to rip through them slowly but surely. Low Jazz now low. Another bandage toss. There's the ult. There's the opportunity. Array is stepping forward. 2ADCs, Decoy. Can you tank up enough damage to get your team into position for this one as they are rushing forward? Those Seraphine speed ups are there. Decoy will go down. They will start to trade us back. Array flashes forward. Who's he going for? He's going to take a double kill onto Corki. Triple kill onto Corki. Corki is ripping through them. This is the late game Corki difference. Quadra kill. Looking for pockets. Will they be able to dodge enough rockets to take that away from Sudsy? And the answer so far is yes.
Oh, not gonna. Maybe could get the penta right here. I think the timer might be up. One more.
No!
Oh, misses the penta. The timer is definitely out now, but they won the fight. It doesn't look like there's gonna be enough time for the death timers here. It is Pockets. Daption gonna be the one solo defending here as they're going for this base. And oh wait, another fight gonna happen. Sudsy, unofficial penta and an ace as the full squad has been wiped here. Satyr, they're okay. It's not all bad. They did make the Goons bleed. They almost won this game, but that's got to be a heartbreaker.
Yeah, they made them bleed, but also mental damage for not giving over to Penta, right? It was well played by Pockets. We'll give them that one. But yeah, that's just how League goes sometimes. Sometimes you play the game to perfection to start it off, and one big mistake, and a team like Dragoon's Goons, they will capitalize on every single part of that. They will tear you to pieces. And it's sad to see from AMI's side, but at least they know that they can get themselves into those positions and they can set themselves up correctly. And that's always a good start.
I mean, that last fight was pretty close, and they kind of did hit the conditions to win it. It might have been a little too late because Sudsy there was pumping out the Corki damage as you were talking about, and they lost Decoy. Unfortunate, in just a step too far. But that early game is really the highlight for AMI. For the other side of Goons, now they know, like, hey, if we're down a lot, we can come back in these games. Like Dragoon, yeah, died 0-3 in lane phase, but was a monster in the game regardless, finding the flank multiple times, knew exactly what to do despite being at a deficit in this game. Meanwhile, Sudsy and Array, just absolute monsters in the backline and the damage. So for Dragoons, I think they're going to be comfy again coming into the next game. But AMI, it's on AMI to perform again in game number 2.
Yeah, 100%. AMI, they need to get that lead again and show us that they can control the rift just a little bit better and not give up an inch where they did before. But obviously, we always have Fearless to worry about on the other side. We might not see similar comps come true, but I do really hope to see AMI take the same lead and just play it a little bit better and bring us to a game 3. But until then, we'll be back in just a few moments. Please don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome back, Titan viewers, as we return from a victorious Dragoons Goons in game number 1. AMI, they had the keys to beating Dragoons Goons in game number 1, but they just misplaced them. They forgot them on the counter when they went to go get their car or, unlocking the door, whatever. They were so close, Sater, but in the end, they were not close enough to be picking up a win here.
No, they were not close enough, and AMI just small mistakes, just very, very small mistakes. So let's put our thinking caps on, comp wise, and decide what we're going to be able to go for here in a more sophisticated mid game. I think is what we need to see for AMI. Is there a champion you want to see in their comp that might bring that little bit more? Because they were heavy scaling. Let's be honest. There was Ornn, Ezreal, Ashe, and Mumu. They had a lot of time they needed to buy, and it felt like they didn't really have it. So, is there something in that mid game you might see them go towards, like maybe a Lucian in that mid lane instead? Would that be something they might opt into to give themselves a little bit more early to mid game damage?
That is a good question of what strategy to go for, Sater, because you're kind of thinking of going the more scaling route. And so maybe a mage, a control mage might be the answer, like Azir, something like
Yeah.
that, to really bump up your team fighting capabilities. I think the comp that they had was very simplistic, very straightforward. And so in terms of level of execution, it's quite low, in my opinion. They just really needed to find those front to backs appropriately in the game. The other route would, of course, being, hey, let's just snowball harder in the early game because that's where we had the advantage. And if we feel confident in being able to do that again with a snowball comp, can we pick something that will give us an extra oomph to close out the game that you're talking about?
An extra oomph, something that we're always talking about when it comes to these. Let's see. We're going to see the Rumble come true banned once again. Will we see the Aurora swap to the red side, or are Dragoons Goons actually more afraid of Aurora coming into these games? But we'll have to see what they want to go for here. I don't think we're going to see too much change in this ban phase because obviously Fearless takes those champions out anyway, etc., etc. But as things go on, sometimes you want to take those picks for yourselves. So we'll see if there is something that Dragoons Goons might want to first pick here and hopefully leave open. But for the moment, I don't see much changing. I might want to see a Lucian, maybe a control mage in that mid lane, as you were saying. I just want a little bit more power in that mid lane, as we saw Zalt be a bit of a menace and do quite a bit for his team. So maybe move into that kind of stature, as Braum will be the first one changed in this ban phase so far. Brand or Aurora AMI, which one are you more scared of? And it's the Brand. Aurora left open.
That's interesting pick here. Do they just take it? Do they just take it away? I'm not sure if Dragoon is an Aurora player, though, but you certainly don't want to get countered. Okay, looks like they're going to pick it. Now, this can be flexed to the mid lane, with Sudsy also picking it up. Could be the option here. Now, there's a lot of interesting matchups for Aurora, Satyr, and none of them are the standard top laners. I'm talking, you got to go something like Yone, Irelia, Zeri. You have to pick some really weird stuff to actually counter this champion on the top side. So that might hinder AMI's draft, as they are going to go for a control mage here, Satyr. They're going to go the extra scaling route, more solid team fight and control.
Yeah, and I already love the support pick coming through. I think Leona is the SS tier in terms of being the strongest support in the game at the moment. It is incredibly tanky, great engages, and it's point click, drop a nuke for CC, and I just think it is in a great place. If you team that up with the likes of an Ivern that can add those shields, to add more slows, I just think it's nearly unbeatable. But we are going to see the Alistair in response.
Yeah, I think Ivern would have been great if they had an AD mid. I think Ivern with AD mid plus Leona is such a strong combo. Whoa! We are getting an interesting pick here. The Nocturne Orianna combo. This is a very famous combo, and what this combo always says to me is your AD carry is too good. This is what this means. Array is too good. We're going to make it so Array can't play the game. Nocturne Orianna.
Yeah, but there's an Alistair sitting right there, and it's Alistair standing on top. It's Q, break that shield, W, and that fear will not go through. So, yeah, all eyes, I think, are on Daption this game to keep Array alive. But what is Array going to go for as well? Because Ezreal is gone, Misfortune is now gone, Zaya, the defensive ADC, is gone, Jhin, Corki, Ashe is gone. Zeri and Jinx are the two other premier ADCs alongside Kai'Sa that I will expect to see here. But what are they going to go for? Zeri traded over. Will we see the Jinx on the other side paired with an Alistar? Not the strongest combo in the bot side, but might be enough. Traps and headbutts will be strong. Array, what are you going to go for? It will be the Kai'Sa. I wanted to see the Jinx really badly. I just think it's fun, but we're not going to see that. No fun for Seder. Nothing I want to see.
I mean,
like you get to have fun, right, Crims?
You would want to play Jinx into Nocturne Orianna? You think that's okay?
1 million mastery, fight me.
All right, 1 million mastery, but maybe not good enough. We will never know because you're not in this game. It is Array who gets to choose the Kai'Sa. This is going to be the Aurora mid here, and that is the matchup Aurora versus Orianna. So we get to see that. I think Aurora is going to do pretty good into this because Orianna has to flash out if they want to get out here. As hold up, the picks have changed. Okay,
Nope,
we'll wait for that to clear up here.
New graphics, old champions.
Yeah,
Crims,
we get.
We'll flame him after. We'll flame him after. Don't worry.
Or you can flame during. I'm not impartial to either.
Yeah, Chris.
But yeah, come on, Chris. Come on. This is Goons versus AMI. Come on. All right. So we have the pick Cassante into the Aatrox. Honestly, this is a fine matchup for Aatrox. I had a feeling they were going for a tank pick because I mean they banned Darius. So what else do you think they're going to pick here? They could have flexed Aurora, but they decided Dragoon on a Bruiser is the way to go, and they're pairing that with Sejuani in the jungle here. So we have the comp. Looks like Goons have a dive comp, pretty much just straight up going to be diving in. On the other side, what do you think AMI have, and what do you think are their chances in this game?
AMI, what are their chances? Zeri diff?
Did get nerfed, I believe.
It did, but it still has that static shiv, oh my god, everything died moment. Like, it's still such a strong pick, and if it has the opportunity to scale, get to those 3 items, yes, Zeri will rip through you. Same with Nocturne Lockdown, Orianna Ball, Cassante. Cassante is a sentence in itself. It is terrifying, but Dragoon and Decoy are going to go into a little bit of a scrap here. Decoy are going to take the worst of that, as we do have our lovely FOF popping up here. Chris looking very happy in that photo too. It doesn't look like he's running for his life.
Chris is like popping off.
It looks like he's running. I mean, like mid-horror film running, like just seeing 3 people die and he's just screaming.
No, it looks like he just scored a goal or something.
Hoodie?
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it was cold.
You don't play enough traditional sports, Crims.
I used to play soccer, basketball, and baseball.
It's not called
You don't know what
soccer.
baseball
Don't be
is, but
American.
that's fine.
For 2 minutes, don't be American. Just say it's football.
Well, I didn't play football, so that would be
like,
the American sport.
American football is used with hands.
Yeah, I'm not explaining the name, but you know
This
what?
is why NA has no hands at Worlds.
I mean, I don't think LEC gets to talk this year. This might be the worst LEC year of all time.
G2 will still get further than all of NA.
Well, it didn't happen last year. I do recall America beating the best of Europe in the World's competition here.
It didn't count.
You know, you always try to make this about your region. We're talking about NA here today, Sater, you selfish bastard. As we have AMI getting Pria when they should have this time around. To be fair to Goons, it is Alistar. If you get Pria with Alistar, I don't know. Something went terribly wrong.
Passive, that's all it is. Like, this is one of the reasons why I think Alistar is probably one of the stronger support picks, is that passive is absolutely busted. And it's just constant healing as long as minions are dying. It's absolutely wonderful. And then as soon as you hit level 2, it's like, now we're ready to go. Now we're online. Now we're ready to rock. And I absolutely adore that champion when played to perfection. As I do like to see absolute top tier Alistar's play. But let's see what Pockets will have this time around. As Pockets had been playing quite well in the first game, setting up quite well with that Seraphine, but the issue that came through in the end was a couple of missed ults and bad engages overall from AMI, but that's not a bad engage to start that one off, as they do step forward, but Pockets will not get a stun in return, as Baz takes the weight of that.
Yeah, that's just a free trade right there. Sudsy getting beat up by the Orianna. I'm pretty sure Orianna does win early, so it looks like Zalt is utilizing that right now, as Low Jazz Still not able to full clear. It is Kisno who's going to be full clearing first and is going to be applying pressure. Bounce back from the bot lane means that Kisno wants to be making a play here against Low Jazz. Shutting down Nocturne early is a good idea, is a good look, but just going to be trading the Scuttle Crabs.
Yeah, the movement was there and everything they needed from the bot side in terms of pressure, but without anyone to fight, Low Jazz will just be able to walk away from that one. Really well done there. As you see, a little bit more damage going in towards that mid lane. Just saw Sudsy lose another chunk of health and the mana not there. So yeah, we will see a reset come through nice and early from both mid laners here. As Orianna able to hold that wave in, will end up staying, which I think is the right choice here, just to pick up a little bit more. And yeah, it looks really, really good so far from Zalt. They've had good pressure in the lane, and we do see a Dark Seal come out from Sudsy very early, so they want to go aggressive.
Why both of them? They both
of them are going
Dark
Dark
Seals.
Seal on Ori is so strange. Sorry, don't like it.
Well, if you get the kills at the end of the day, it's not going to matter here. Dragoon pushing in Decoy, who is getting quite on this top laner here. So right now, Kisno, I think, has a bit of a tempo advantage because Low Jazz had to walk all the way to the top side scuttle to grab it. Is going to be ahead in terms of getting these overall clears. Low Jazz also hasn't backed. He's going to go straight for the Tiamat. So this is where Low Jazz on these clears after this point can catch up, get to level 6, and try to find a gank. Probably going to be looking down near the bot side, just like Daption, getting these trades in. Didn't get the Kaisa trade, I believe, that they were looking for, but they are still trying to hold this wave because it's Dragon time. And it looks like AMI with this push in can go for this objective.
Yeah, we do see the pressure from Kisno going into the mid lanes. We do see a slight engage once again from Daption in the spot side, but not getting exactly what they want from that. The ward will go down, cover off Low Jazz's entry from the left side quadrant of the bot side jungle with a sweeper to go across as well. As you do see, a bot reset was attempted there by Baz. So no pressure will come from the bot side for this one, depending on how fast they can get back.
Yeah. Low Jazz almost level 6. Basically one quadrant away. Might be just 2 camps. This is looking like 2 camps. Isn't going to do the dragon, as that is not a good timing. Conditions aren't set here. Grubs are going to spawn. So if Low Jazz gets the grubs, this will be a totally fine trade for either team here. And it looks like that's going to be the case. But the big deal is that Low Jazz will be level 6. Oh, okay. Interesting walk down there. I don't know what the plan was.
I was thinking about it. As we see the all-in come through there, and Dragoon does flash away. Will it be a trade back as Decoy survives?
Calculated.
Flash for a grass proc, I'm telling you.
Decoy has Dragoon's number in lane phase at least. Both games in a row. Double solo Bolo and double first blood. Decoy has really shown up to this game here, and that is a great look, as they are going to be able to pick up the Void Grubs. So Dragon for Void Grubs, I think this is a totally okay trade. But now they know that they cannot respond to the spot side.
Oh, there could be a lot of trouble in the spot side. Those Kisno does land the ult straight onto Baz. Glacial Prison will not lock them down, though, as Baz does manage to escape. And we see Pockets trying to clear out that wave nice and fast as a proxy comes through from the bot side of the Goons here. And that dive worked out a lot better than some of the previous ones did.
Yeah, they didn't die. They didn't die, but they are going to zone again, and we're starting to see the dominance from Array and Daption over Baz and Pockets. All coming through. It is the mid lane, nearsighted as well. Low HP. Oh, just greeting for the kill. Azult's going to trade, but it is not a kill back. It is an execute. And that's just going to be another advantage for AMI, who again are coming up strong in the early lane phase.
Yeah, they have those kills, and it's looking like a repeat of game 1 with Grubs being the prio for AMI, while the Drake's being taken by Goons, and the kills going over to AMI as well. It's all looking the same. The only difference is Decoy doesn't have 3 kills by this stage.
Decoy definitely taking a bit of a backseat. Still has an advantage up here on this top side as well. Good first item as well. Going to make it very difficult for Dragoon to dominate Decoy on this top side So now we know Sudsy doesn't have flash. So this is a very important timer in the game for AMI. Low Jazz ult is halfway on CD, and as well as ult. So that means in about 30 seconds we're going to see Low Jazz go for another gank mid lane theoretically and continue to shut down Sudsy.
Yeah, that could be the plan going forward here, but as the game goes on, we will see that ROA come out for Sudsy and they'll get a little bit tankier, a little bit stronger, a little bit healthier, and unless the setup comes through perfectly, we might see that change up just a little bit, as Aurora has been known to dip into alternate dimensions, go a little bit stealthy, and then bounce off walls, because Riot likes to just make every single mid laner that wants to be aggressive to life's hell. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens with the Nocturne as it gets closer in, but that mid lane pressure, I think, is the right choice here, as you were saying. Just continue to force down that Aurora.
Yeah, they need to shut down Sudsy, and then in team fights, you know Sudsy's been shut down, you go for Array, and that is going to be your ideal attack onto Goons here. Ultimates are up. It's looking like there is a play coming out from Goons instead. They're going to go ahead, strike first. Ultimate coming through, and Low Jazz is on to Sudsy. Is this going to be enough for self-peel? We have the Sejuani stun. Low Jazz might be the one falling. It's an Array, and Daption who roam up first. Baz is just a little bit too slow. Paucus was there, but you can only see so much, and the play goes awry as, okay, well, Satyr, how about 2-0 for Decoy?
Yeah, there is something still happening for AMI on the other side as Decoy once again gets another kill in that top side. But look, Dragoons, they decided we have to pull a trigger. We can't let them do what they did before. Array start walking, we're going to force something, and the fight happened and it exploded for them. And that brings them straight back in, and it gives both kills over to that Kaisa, which is a carry beyond carries in this meta.
I think we saw this before. It was looking eerily similar to game number 1 here. Focus doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. So they missed their second opportunity here. Sudsy does survive. Just a barely amount of HP, but nonetheless does survive. And they win that next skirmish as well. And so, I mean, it is kind of a bummer that they weren't able to punish Sudsy. They did go for it. It just couldn't pull together from the rest of the team.
Yeah, they couldn't pull away. Let's readjust our scope from game 1 to game 2. So Goons have actually picked up a couple of kills. Wonderful. They're fighting back a little bit more. They've also played their macro a little bit differently now. They're moving away from that Drake and forcing Array up to this top 6. They want to take those grubs. So they don't want to see what happened last game where towers were falling so quickly for AMI due to that. So they're going to step in, get some of these grubs, make sure it doesn't happen again. But AMI, they really like these grubs.
This is kind of interesting because Dragoon doesn't have TP, but they're going for this play. And they wisely back off. So maybe a bit of a bluff there as well that they were kind of faking. No way they could fight this because of Dragoon's TP, but look at this. Because of the over group from AMI, Dragoon's also going to get free gold. That's really going to help in this matchup that Dragoon was losing. And we all know eventually Bruisers will be able to take over against a tank, even Cassante.
Even Cassante. I like your thinking here. But yeah, we have to keep an eye on Decoy just a little bit more as they are getting stronger and stronger in that bot side. As we do see that Frozen Fist now arrive. Decoy looking to try get maybe another plate out of this lane. That will definitely bring them back. But Drake being heavily ignored by both sides here as top is now the focus as they want to try and get something done. And Low Jazz, all eyes on that Nocturne ult.
Yeah, gold is the name of the game here. And Dragoons don't want to fall too far behind. Start making plays for gold. And then that's the item I'm kind of talking about here, Satyr. The Black Cleaver on Aatrox. When you're playing this Bruiser tank matchup, that item is pretty much the key to when you can start being able to fight back against these tanks. And Dragoons hit that breakpoint because of those plates. Just barely had enough money for it after picking them up.
Yeah, so Dragoon, all eyes on you now to try and turn this one back around and prove the namesake of the team that you are worthy of that and take down Decoy. This could be your biggest test to date as Decoy has had an absolute amazing series so far, going up time and time again as Daption now getting very aggressive with his warding here to be so far up and no one to pull the trigger. I know that Alistair has something to work with in terms of tankiness, but can you survive all four? Is Zalt now stepping in. There it goes. There goes the combo as well, but it doesn't quite hit. And now the Nocturne caught in the red. Oh, here comes the Aurora ult as well. This is the fight. As we do see Baz coming in on the other side, he's free firing. As we do see the drag over the wall to take Sudsy out. Sudsy will not be a part of this fight. Baz will be able to hold off the rest of them. Those slow lightning shots ripping through Dragoon will be able to lock up Pockets. Pockets will really engage onto Baz, but Baz uses the barrier, steps back, still fighting this one out as decoy. Can we fight, guys? Can we still go for this one? Wants to keep going, and there it is. There's the laser. Doesn't quite hit. Dragoon gets into the back. Salt in a lot of trouble. There goes the first one. Dragoon will take that one, as they will be nearly a clean sweep here as Dragoons pick away the bones of AMI.
Dragoons in a close skirmish again are going to be picking up the advantage. Gold lead has been evened. Decoy did fall. I believe that was potentially a bounty right there. And so they pull the trigger onto Array, but Array still had flash and basically all defenses up there, Satyr. I don't know if that was exactly the play because Lojaz kind of just isolated. However, didn't fall down, and now they kind of had an all-out skirmish, just brawling near that turret. And Baz was able to get down a lot of damage, but no kills. Decoy picking up kill on the backside of that one was quite interesting, but in the end, they kind of just overstayed, and then they weren't able to continue winning these fights.
Weren't able to continue winning them, and now it's starting to look more like a Dragoons Goons kind of game as they're slowly building up those leads onto Kai'Sa. They're getting stronger, and those team fights are starting to rip people apart here in Crims. Is this the Dragoons you're used to seeing here?
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, I think their macro, as well as their ability to identify how to win fights, has been above everyone else. I think, head and shoulders. And in the finals, they were using a lot of poke comps. So I don't even think this is their final form, Satyr. I think once they start playing for real, quote unquote, activate the poke comps, start playing to those style, that's the real Goons. And as you can see, from the last OQ, no one can beat them at that point.
Yeah, they have been absolutely incredible to watch as we do see that ult come through, and Salt could be in trouble here now with the reset. Lojaz have the damage to take this one out. Stridebreaker has been procced. The slows are there, but is the damage there as Dragoon is just healing through dodging all of it, but he's not hitting the hits, but he doesn't. It doesn't matter when it comes to Aatrox. You don't need to hit abilities, just keep autoing.
That was a nice flash follow. That is insane. Did get the kill there. Was that a triple?
Double.
That was a double. Oh man, double. I mean, Dragoon's up show now.
Us how it's done. Oh,
ooh, Pocket's taking a huge chunk right there. But I mean, look, Dragoon now completes the Black Cleaver and now is able to handle Decoy as well as Lojaz. It's just not. Again, it's just not the plays that they were looking for, not the leads that they need to generate. And again, Dragoon miraculously comes back in the mid game.
Yeah, this is their bread and butter kind of time, though. This is when Dragoons Goons are at their scariest. And it's between that 15-25 minute mark, that 10 minutes there. If you can survive that and keep your lead, AMI would be in a much better position. But it's so difficult for a team that knows how to macro, knows how to play, and knows how to work together. And it doesn't matter how many times you solo kill that top laner, Dragoon always finds a way.
Always finds a way back into the game. Decoy, though, still quite strong. Definitely don't want to be underestimating this Cassante. As Baz has the mid lane push. Both AD carries completing their first item here. Kind of hitting that lull state again. I think Goons are the team that have been benefiting from the slower pace of the game. And again, I feel like we're in the same scenario.
Yeah, same scenario. Very, very, as you said, lull state. We have to kind of wait for those neutrals to appear before we really see any action. So I guess we just have to fill time for a little while and talk about builds, items, gold. Actually, no, wait. Is there a recession starting in America? I've been hearing rumors.
Well, I mean, if there's a recession in America, it's in the world. So you better.
That's what I mean. You're usually the first domino to fall when it comes to that. So I'm just genuinely curious.
There was a market dip. There's been a market dip. It was expected. Everyone knew it was coming. So I don't think we're in anything crazy. It's recovered already a little bit as we have Daption trying to get away in this mid lane here. Baz has held the ultimate. Just as Dragoon has recovered. Sudsy here pushing this in. I think we saw a huge gold lead on Array versus Baz. I think that is something that the Goons are happy with and AMI are dreading is, again, Array finds themselves up basically half an item versus Baz. And so the team fight damage from these backliners is not equal. Oh, ultimate coming here again, using the bounce back. It gets out, and it looks like Daption now going to turn around. Array, this is a 3v2. Going to get one. It looks like Low Jazz has fallen, trying to get Baz. Going to go ahead, shift over the wall, getting away. But Paucus might not be gifted the same opportunity. Bola going to come out. Does get knocked over the wall somehow. Miraculously, no one is able to follow.
Lull states are crazy, but in the top side, it's always fighting, always looking for something as Decoy. Will get the knockback, will get the knock up. It's going to be a 1-for-1, but will they? Who's going to win? It's Dragoon. It's always Dragoon. It's always the Aatrox.
There it is. I mean, they kind of had their chance, and now Decoy can't 1v1 Dragoon anymore. And it is, I mean, it's a bit hard to say. It's hard to see this Decoy get 2 solo bolos with no help, no assistance. I mean, we can count it up to 5 solo bolos total, and then starts to lose now in the 1v1 in this game.
That fight in the mid lane that just gave Dragoon all that mojo back. He got everything he needed from that one, and now he's been able to fully flex in that top side once again that we've seen Dragoon do so many times. And sometimes you just need your team to set you up for a fight, and you can come in and clean it up. And now it's just a little bit too easy for the Aatrox as they have those items built. But on the other side, right now, Goons, look at that. Even for a Scuttle Crab, they walk over, they're like, we just see Kisno, and they're like, maybe we can't, and just step away. It's that fear they've instilled into AMI now that is just going to completely rip them apart in terms of morale.
Yeah, the morale, I think this is where the mental is tested on the side of AMI, because your backs are up against the wall. You're going to lose this game, and then you are going to drop the series into the loser's bracket. Multiple times you were up in the game, and now you're finding yourself in the losing position. I mean, this is where you have to find your play. You have to keep yourself focused on the winning condition and go for that play. And right now, Goons, looks like they're going to disrupt it.
Yeah, let's see what the story is going to be here, as it is just way too much damage going down on the pockets. They're going to try and re-engage on this one as Low Jazz is going to head straight for the Aurora. Will those bounces come true once again that we've seen so well? No, the first fleet, they bounce back. Pockets might be in trouble. They will get that lockdown, and Baz will be able to finish off Sudsy. But on the other side, is it tanky enough Decoy? Yes, it is, as it pulls in a second. It's a double kill. Zeri diff, Zeri moment as it happens right in front of us, and Decoy will take the cow for himself as Dragoon slowly walking over. Array isn't giving up on this fight just yet, but maybe you should.
Yeah, I don't see what you could gain from this point from Array. Does feel very strong. 3-0 and 3, 2 items, has the Gwinzoos. Certainly can win a bunch of 1v1s, but I don't see the value in going for the 3v1 there. I don't know if you caught that, Satyr, but Sudsy, he kind of threw that one, hopping right into the face of Paucus, who immediately CC'd Aurora into death. So I think that fight could have gone a lot better for Goons if that didn't happen.
Maybe. I think the idea was to get away from the Nocturne, which would have been correct. And I hopefully try to stay away from the Leona, but the Leona was just way too quick on that turn. And Aurora has been known to deceive team fights quite well, especially I've seen it in the LPL series I was watching, where we saw, I think it was Fox play it, but it was... yeah, Aurora has been so deceptively strong in these fights due to positioning. So a little bit more practice hitting from Sudsy, and we'll see that work out a little bit better for them in the future. But right now, yeah, that's a big hit from AMI to pick that up, and onto Baz, more importantly, and Decoy. Is this a winnable fight for you? And it's looking like it is right now, as that CC is perfect so far. Who will be able to come to assist in time, as you will see that ult come down. First bounce comes through, steps away, and that's the fight.
I think that's a win. Decoy for basically nothing is going to pull the ult from Sudsy, just kind of walking face first into that wave. And that's a win. Unfortunately, Decoy going to be spending flash. Mid lane, though, looks like something's brewing, as Sudsy does not have the ultimate. So I think there is a small timer here with the flash that they could go for Sudsy and get the kill, 100-0. I'm not sure if it will be available.
Yeah, it might not B, as we do see multiple pings heading towards that top side jungle from the side of Goons, so they are communicating what they need in terms of vision as they're slowly clearing out wards. And Baron is it's a risky one at this stage, I think. I don't think they need to force something like this, but if they can find the right pick, of course they can go for it. But I just think maybe shore up those side lanes a little bit more. We now see Aurora moving towards that top. I think there's still opportunities for them to take those tier 2 towers without the Baron.
Let's see if they can do that. Array, 400 gold bounty now. Climbing in the CS as well. 50 CS difference is almost been achieved here. Isno kind of testing the waters, seeing if they have vision, seeing if they react to a Baron start. Looks like AMI aren't panicking just yet. But it looks like that's on their mind, Satyr. They're trying to set up a Baron fight. They're trying to pull. They're trying to pressure, trying to get them second guessing on the side of AMI.
Second guessing might not be a bad plan here, as Dragoon is going to take down some Krugs. As all top laners love to do, just go in randomly, start taking some camps. Don't worry about it. You don't need them anymore. You're just a jungler.
I mean, once jungler hits like 2 items-ish, you don't need camps anymore, especially if you're playing Sejuani.
The literal "you're not important, I am" moment. But yeah, as we do see, Decoy heading back towards the bot side is pinged out as well from the rest of them. So this could be maybe a collapse angle as they are rushing towards that bot side. He hasn't even shown yet, guys. You can relax. Looked a little bit forceful there.
I'll be taking away resources. Finally, the ward goes down, so I know this Baron is safe. As this is a pretty early setup for Dragon, but they're down here and they're ready to defend their vision quite early.
There's the combo, and it works out this time as you do see Kai'Sa actually steps away from it and will actually be able to rejoin the fight if they just wait a little while longer and stay at that range advantage that we want to see them at. As Kizno does manage to take out low Jazz on the other side. Decoy's now in the middle. He does get the drag out on the back. Dragoon is on the back line. Decoy, can you do enough? Does take out Sudsy. Baz now in a bad position. Does manage to step away from that first knock-up. Is still alive, but Dragoon slowly ripping through pockets. It's sketchy from both sides here. I don't know who actually won that in the end, but depends on if Daption can find the knock-up. He
there
does.
Here
comes Kizno. 2 tanks versus Zeri. Over the wall. Does get stunned on the way over. Kizno will ping that out. And Array, no.
Array says, nope, not for you. Up to 700 gold bounty. 5, 0, and 4. 3 items on this 80k. Arrays have been a monster this OQ. Really showing what they have over everyone else. Unfortunate that they don't win that one. Low Jazz couldn't get out. And the Decoy Dragoon dive trade was very interesting. Did split the fight. Unfortunately for Decoy, they got kited out while Dragoon was able to pick up more effectiveness in that team fight. But they're resetting now, and we'll see if they have the prio for this Dragon. Something to note, Array, no flash. Sudsy, no flash. So I think for AMI, they could just go for a repeat play, Satyr.
They could. They definitely could. They could step away, go for repeat play, do all this again. I just think the setup there on Array was perfect. It just proves something you said in the pregame. It's just Nocturne is saying your ADC is too good, and Array is just proving they are too good right now. As they are actually going to start with this Baron, as Daption is now in the back. Could have knocked Pockets forward there, but actually held on to that one as they are going to get the setup ready. Dragoon not there yet. TP is not available, so they have to make that long walk through the mid and try to get through Decoy here. But there goes the knock up straight onto Pockets. Are they really going to engage onto the Leona in this situation? Baz is hit. Baz has taken a chunk out of them as Aurora goes into the back, does get it lined up perfectly, but Dragoon will take out Leona. There's no way of them getting to the back line. AMI have just been routed.
Oh, they didn't have enough to take out Array. Didn't even ult either in the face of Low Jazz. 0 and 5 on this Nocturne. And this is not an Assassin Nocturne either. This is a Bruiser. So definitely not going to be able to snipe Array here. And they were just able to just win on all fronts. One on the back line. Couldn't get Array. Dragoon in the front line. Decimating Zalt as well as Pockets. I mean, at this point, it doesn't seem like this is going to be going AMI's way.
No, it is starting to look like a 2-0 here for Dragoon's Goons. And for everything we've said about AMI so far, they didn't get the same lead they did last time, and it will just fall apart for them. They will
Array's
get
an
the
ult.
Drake. Here goes Array, and they will get a second stun onto Decoy. They're going to flash over the wall. They want to end this swiftly. They want this Cassante out of the game here. Unstoppable pushback, looking for knockbacks, looking for anything they can do to buy themselves time, but time is not of their essence.
Decoy was quite tanky. Just unfortunate, no damage to put it to use. And Array, many times getting the snipe onto Baz. This time not nearsighted, so was able to follow up and get the kill. And with this Baron, and these turrets are just dropping like flies here. AMI, it looks like this is going to be your last stand here. Goons have solved you, and it looks like they're going to start knocking down these final turrets.
Yeah, it's all just macro sieging, taking their time. Lojaz has ult available. Can you even lock up Array at this point? You have to wait for Decoy to come back up, but maybe you don't. Maybe you just go for the ult. Combo is there. They get for the 2. They don't go for Array. Array is now walking in. This is where the damage starts to come through. They can't get onto the Kaisa. Bukizno has to flash out. Daption now in trouble. Sudsy is in, and it's just a wipe.
Oh, it looked too easy. There was just no hope. They tried to do something, some kind of Hail Mary, but that's not the play they're looking for. Ray going to try to pad their numbers again, get another kill. Okay, doesn't die to the turret. However, Daption just going to send one over, as that does go over to Lojaz. And there it is. Satyr. This is it. That's the Nexus. They're just going to try to get some more kills. Decoy trying to pad the damage stats. But that's not going to be enough, as Goons are going to be taking this one 2-0.
2-0 indeed, as they're slowly playing with Decoy on the fountain. They want to just make sure that they're getting everything they can out of that one. And look, it's a tough one, I think, for AMI to take. They played it so well in game 1, and they let it slip. Game 2, Dragoon's Goons came through with force. So, yeah, it just looked overly tough from them from start to finish.
Yeah, I think they had some issues with Array on the bot side and Daption. Consistently playing very well in lane, making it tough for Baz and Pockets to go toe-to-toe with them. Despite the fact that Decoy on the top side was doing great into Dragoon in the lane phase, just not able to play around Decoy because of the nature of top lane versus the bot side. And probably the best AD carry in the OQ right now, getting fed every game. That's very difficult to win against.
Yeah, very, very difficult. And I think Dragoon's Goons are looking as strong as they ever have, and look like they are poised to take a second victory here in these OQs. And I think that's going to make for a very good week on Talk on Titans.
Definitely going to talk about it. I mean, they smoked AMI despite going down in the lane phase both games. Kind of just made it look like an easy game back to back. Sudsy might need to work on the Aurora a little bit. Just
late
a little
game,
bit.
though, that late game engages. Some of them were absolutely beautiful, but some moments, yeah, there's just a few quirks you need to work out and some positioning, but in the end, it was absolutely devastating.
We didn't even get to a Senna Ornn from Array and Daption, so they have a champion pool that keeps going.
We got an Ornn.
So, yeah.
That was taken off the table. We couldn't see that in game 2. The Ornn was gone.
Yeah, Ornn was gone, you're right. Had to go a different route. So, Goons, I mean, this is kind of the expected victory. AMI had some good looks, and so for the lower bracket run, this is actually a good look for them. If you can do that early game against Dragoon's Goons, then certainly what can you do against other teams here? So they're not out. They still have games to play. And whoever's going to be playing against them is going to be quaking in their boots here. Satyr, that was our last game for today here. Yep. So closing remarks, and then we can, get mentally prepared for tomorrow.
Well, you can get mentally prepared for tomorrow. I won't be here. I will be back to Titans soon, hopefully. I will be back to Titans soon before anyone actually goes and misses me. I know you don't. But hopefully I will be back very soon. I just got to get some things done, and I'll be back. But Crims, it's been an absolute wonderful moment casting with you once again. Our duo has been getting better and better every single time. So sad I had to be cut short. But everyone do tune in to A Talk on Titans on Fridays with Crims. He has some great guests on as well that bring up the banter levels as well. I have to tell him to start abusing Crims because I can't. But other than that, AMI, they have a lot to work on. Goon, they look as solid as ever. AMI, I just want them to solidify that mid-game macro, and I'll be very happy with them.
Yeah, AMI, some improvements. Array probably going to be climbing in KDA. I have to tell you right now, as the last closing statement was at a 24.5. Certainly that number has gone up today. So, all right, looking like the 80 carry to beat. That is it. They 2-0. And Goons looking like the dead ringer again. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. That's Sater. I'm Crims. Thank you to Chris Sunga in Productions. Anti, I'm going to give you a shout out. Sorry that you weren't able to be the observer. As that is it. See you guys tomorrow.
Town to town, from London to Taiwan, I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.